A company goes under when you decide it goes under. For us, we've learned there's a magic number to 3. It's as simple as it can be without being too simple. We kind of feel like we got to the essence here. Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Justin?
I am doing good.
Well, thank you for being on the podcast. I like to just have founders on who get it and just like execute and build things and just kind of create in the world. But I use your tools and I think it's really cool to see a founder that's just executing and I feel like you're doing that. And I'd love to just ask you questions. This is just an open-ended podcast. Like, who are you? Maybe you can give us a little background on you.
So I'm Justin. I'm one of the founders of Model. I've been doing this for 8 years. Started with a very different product about, that was really what set us off on our journey was a different product. And then along the way, the Infinity tool kind of showed itself as a piece of the other product. And then it became its own product that we launched on Kickstarter. That was about 2.5 years ago. And it quickly became our top selling product. And now we don't even sell the original product anymore. We decided to make a full pivot to that. So I'm sure we can get into that. But ever since that pivot, we have really been cruising and off to the races. And so, yeah, we're focused on building this Infinity tool ecosystem, basically a buildable, functional attachment system. You can kind of think of it like Legos for life, Legos for adventure, all these pieces that can mix and match and connect, and you can use it for anything that you need. Great for attaching things together, fixing things on the fly. Just a great tool for any kind of human.
Awesome, awesome. One of the things I'm kind of I don't talk about this publicly, but I'm kind of obsessed with magnets. And I have a lot of different I buy a lot of things that just kind of stick together magically around the house. And
Yeah,
the one thing I love about this, so this is where I find you guys like so unique is like this right here, right? Like it's just
yeah,
it's a very simple thing, but you can like stick your iPhone onto like a piece of workout equipment. You could stick it onto something. This just like works just to tie something on a wall,
like,
right? Like that's magnetic, like a refrigerator.
totally.
Um,
Yeah, and it's
and
all all those magnets can be plopped into different places. So I mean, this is the baseline form of it, and so you can see all of those holes are open for whatever studs you want to plug in there. And so mag studs are one of those studs that we have.
right, right. But I guess like you guys keep innovating. Well, I guess the question for you, like you said it very quickly, you pivoted. So you're doing something else originally. This will be interesting for most of our listeners are founders and finance people. So it's a little mix of both. But like for the founders out there, like why pivot? Was it a hard thing? Like what did you originally do?
Yeah. So our first product was called Model. It was a modular bottle that we contracted that word. And so it was a double-ended bottle that could turn into a hydration pack, a water filter, a shower, like really basically a multi-tool of water bottles. And we just got a little excited about it. We were fresh out of college. We kind of told ourselves if we could get this thing rolling before we graduate, we could convince ourselves not to take our other jobs, or I was going to go to medical school. So we wanted to go down a brand new road, a third door. And so we started working on that, launched it on Kickstarter, and it did pretty well. Did like 130 grand in pre-orders there. When manufactured it, when visited our supplier in China. And so yeah, learned a lot through being in that space, but the water bottle game is pretty difficult. The quality control is difficult, if it leaks, it's done. It's not a useful product. The margins aren't great, and when you're shipping overseas, you're shipping lots of air inside of those bottles. You're shipping air when you're shipping to the customer, and so between the competitive space, between the tight margins, it didn't really give much room to be able to market really hard that we kind of plateaued. We were able to grow it to a solid spot, but we were never able to become profitable. And it was kind of just it was a tough business to run. And we did that for about 4 or 5 years.
Was it a smart bottle? Did it like track
No,
anything?
it didn't have any of that yet. We
Okay.
eventually were gonna build in like a light so that it could turn into a lantern on the inside, but that was as much technology that was going into it. But these loops were what we designed for the bottle cap. So we had caps on both ends, and so these loops were detachable, and they were a way to be able to attach your bottle to your bike, your car, your backpack, things like that. And
Right.
then one day we took off the loop and we were like, "Oh, this is kind of an interesting design. Like it may be a standalone piece, especially if you design the stud with it here." Yeah,
Yep.
there you go.
Yep.
So then we designed that stud, and then we started to see, wait, this is just a universal way to attach anything to anything else. And so we designed that pass through it so that you could cinch things down. And ultimately, we kind of stumbled upon the Infinity tool, and we realized that we were really just creating this universal attachment system.
So really it takes a while to figure out like what's going to sell and what's simple. So you went from like, I wouldn't call it a complex product, but like a bigger product and you just took a part off of it.
Yeah, it was totally complex. I mean,
Mm.
it probably had 8 different components and 5 different suppliers and so many failure points. Yeah, we then got to the essence of it, and there's something beautiful about a simple, dialed, tight product. It's as simple as it can be without being too simple. So we kind of feel like we got to the essence here, and it took us a long time to figure it out, and we're very grateful to have found it.
At Just Paid, we build just software, right? So you're doing something hard. I actually think building any physical item is harder because you have to get inventory to move inventory
Yeah.
and you may mess up. Like you might have bought a lot of these water bottles and realize like they're not moving as fast as we need them to. Were you doing like any just in time, like
We
product?
were trying to, but it was so hard to gauge demand.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's now we're doing more of that with the Infinity tool, still not totally there. But yeah, I mean, dealing with atoms instead of bits is definitely a different game. And especially when you're growing, you kind of always got to be financing bigger and bigger inventory runs. So that's just kind of that's definitely a big piece of the puzzle at this point.
That's part of the secret sauce of Tim Cook. I don't know if you know Tim Cook from Apple, but
Yeah.
he's really good at just in time inventory where he doesn't keep a lot of inventory in stock.
Yeah.
As orders come in, they make them in China and they ship them to the US really fast to get
Yeah.
you like what you need.
Yeah, that's so good. And I mean, at their scale too, they're sitting on tons of cash too. I mean, so they're basically they're saving cash. They're not paying interest on that financing. And that inventory cycle is really nice. So
Right.
we're getting there. We're not there yet though.
And you go to China, I'm assuming a lot, so you like
We actually haven't been since our initial visit.
okay.
I've been saying that we're due to go. We have some incredible partners over there, and so yeah, we're definitely diving deeper there.
So would you recommend people if they wanna build a product like not like yours, but if they wanna build a physical product, you only went there once? I mean, do you need to go there more? Do you like for me, I'm always assuming like you have to keep going back. It's a
Yeah,
simple product. Like part of the beauty is it is a simpler product, so there's less,
yeah,
question of quality, right?
yeah. I do think it depends on the supplier, it depends on the product, and it depends on the founder, but,
Yeah,
we have incredible partners over there. I have incredible partners here, like my 2 co-founders, and so I think it just depends, and we also have incredible quality control partners over there too, so we've kinda just got a good system that can crank these out.
got
So,
it, got it. And did you start this right out of school? Or
yeah. Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
wow, so
No.
didn't get
I
a
was
job, just
No, yeah, I that my cousin tells jokes about that. He's like, "You haven't had to get a big boy job," and I'm like, "No, we're still still doing it." Yeah, I mean, I was planning on going to medical school. My other co-founder was gonna be in investment banking, and our 3rd co-founder was going in consulting, and none of us were too stoked about the paths we were going down. And, we just had lots of ideas. We had started nonprofits in college. We had made music. Like, we just kinda the 3 of us really flowed well together. And, they say don't start businesses with your best friends. And I would say there are tons of friends that are not a great fit to start a business with, but there are some friends that are perfect to start a business with. And my buddies Zach and Barack, my 2 co-founders, they're my best friends, and we've been doing this for 8 years now, and we're having the best time of our life. And it's like a real relationship. You gotta have honest communication, transparency, have some hard conversations sometimes, but we've worked it out and we're having so much fun.
8 years. So you've passed like a lot of companies fail in year 1. It's like a 95% failure rate. Year 2, it's like It's
Yeah.
they're really high numbers. So year 8, you're clearly, like, sticking through it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's so interesting 'cause, I do think a company goes under when you decide they go on when you decide it goes under. Like, there is plenty of times where we could have thrown in the towel, and I think the world would have been like, "That makes sense." You know, when it was really hard and cash was really tight and we had to delay some payables and stuff like that, we had to work with our partners, like, if we didn't like, we had to fight through it to get to the other side of it. It comes down to when you actually wanna throw in the towel and if you wanna throw in the towel with entrepreneurship.
This is interesting. The darkest time that you guys had, like, why not just give up? Was it just because
Yeah.
you're friends?
The darkest time kind of came between the 2 businesses that I was talking about, like, between the pivot, and it was on the backside of the Kickstarter for the Infinity tool, and it was looking really good, but we had kind of set up everything to be really, really good. Like, we needed to blow it out of the park in order to really take care of all of the stuff that we were trying to take care of, and it was actually turning out to fall about halfway short of that. Still a killer campaign, but not quite what we'd hoped, and I remember it was the truest call where we were sitting on the phone and, like, you know, tears were shed, and we were just like it was so overwhelming, and it was the first time we all kind of were like, you know, "Do we wanna keep going?" You know, dust kinda settles for a little bit in silence, and then we all just kinda one by one were like, "Ugh, we just feel like we're so close, though." Like, just there's something about entrepreneurship where, like, you always feel like it's right around the corner, and you kinda have to believe that for a long time that it you know, where you're looking for is always right around the corner if you just keep going, and so we just had to we've had that feeling from the get-go, and we had that feeling then, and not to say that we've made it by any means, but, I mean, we've definitely turned a corner, since then. That was definitely the darkest point, and that was probably 3 years ago.
I mean, I have maybe, I don't know, 45, 50 of these on my desk, so clearly people in the world, which is awesome.
That's awesome. That's so awesome to hear. How did you hear about it?
So I think I'm always looking for, like, little gadgets that just interest me, and, I get a lot of different, like, products, like, presented on Instagram or just other, like, places, but Instagram, I think I saw it there. I think I bought a 5-pack, and I
Mm,
thought it was unique for just, like, holding stuff, and I bought it and I started like, I used them all, and I'm like, "Alright, maybe I should just buy another pack." And I bought
mhm.
another pack, and I realized how useful it was. I'm like, "Okay, this is a cool company." And then I noticed, like, you guys kept innovating on different, like, pieces to the product line. It's very
Yeah,
much like Legos where you're thinking, like, "How is this tool gonna work for everyone in different scenarios?" Like, construction worker, biker, hiker, you know,
totally.
camping, someone, just working, whatever. You bring your dog with you, you could figure out a way to,
Yeah.
like, use it with your pets.
I love that you see it that way. I mean, it's such a human tool we're seeing. It's such a universal human tool. Everybody has items they need to carry together. Everybody has things break at different times.
Yeah.
And it just comes in handy in ways that we didn't expect all the time. And I'm stoked that you're seeing the innovation and lots more to come. We got some cool stuff we're cooking up.
I was wondering about your entire making process, right, Justin? Because just creating the product itself from ground up, is it a lot of time taking process? Because you have to do it from nothing, right? Because you wouldn't find something similar to this. Because I mean, Daniel has been in software for years now. We do look at competitors, we look at code, and like the way you mentioned, what we do is in bits and code, and what you're doing is in atoms. That was pretty cool, right? So how exactly? What's your starting point? I mean, do you see everyday problems? Do you just sit in a park and observe people, or how does that happen?
For us, it was kind of just a process of following our curiosity, and it started with that product, and, like, we kind like that initial product of the bottle, and we felt like that had legs, like, we felt like we would use that, we knew other outdoors people would use it, and people were using it, and enough that we felt like there was something here to, like, a multi-tool, like, it was really a flexible multi-tool was this idea that we felt was interesting. You know, there's all these Leathermans and there's all of these like more hard and those kind of multi-tools. But we felt like there was something to this kind of more soft, flexible multi-tool that we felt it just hadn't really been explored. And so that was just a question is like, what is a flexible multi-tool? And that was always something that was driving us. And then we feel like we ultimately found it with the Infinity tool. So I feel like it starts with that open question, because if you could find what a flexible multi-tool is, inevitably we find use cases for it. And I know some people start more with the use cases, but that was not our journey. And then it came to kind of sketching it up. My partner Brock kind of brute force how to do CAD, finding a supplier, going online to Alibaba, seeing if you can find a partner, and they're always really good at helping pull on threads to finish the design with you, and then ordering samples, and then ordering molds, and then doing a production run, and you're off to the races.
That's actually pretty interesting, right? Because and you also mentioned mold. So is it like a mold of creating the thing? Because I was curious, how do you guys come up with the name too? It says MODL. So does it have some reference that you guys were thinking of, or was it just mold and a word around it, or how is it?
Yeah, we now view model to represent modular, and just a whole modular ecosystem is kind of what we're building. And these loops, they're at the core of it. This is the core of the ecosystem. These are our Lego bricks. And then, this is one piece. We got hook studs, we got omni links, we got mag studs, we have all these other pieces, and there's more coming, that will always be plugging into this and adding new functionality. So model represents modular.
The infinity loop actually holds like 70 pounds while actually being a bracelet as well, right? So how do
Yes.
you nail the balance and the strength about the wearability there?
We wanted to go as strong as possible without sacrificing the flexibility and the stretchiness. And so there's so many different materials you can work with. There's so many different durometers of silicone you can do. But we really wanted to find our niche, which is kind of this flexible but strong system that's not too strong. And you may notice, I don't know if you guys have other gear straps out there, but there's like some made of TPU, and the material has like a memory to it, where if it's like pulled really hard, all of a sudden it kind of stays in that shape, or if it's kinked like this, it'll stay like that. Our Infinity tools have no memory. They revert back to their initial shape, and that was something that was important to us.
I was using a lot of zip ties before you guys for a lot of stuff. So
Yes, great zip tie replacement. And we have a close friend who's a conservationist, and he sends us pictures of zip ties out in the wild and stuff like that. And just, to be able to replace zip ties too is great. And reusable zip tie, it's a nice use.
So I was just thinking, so has there ever been like a crazy use case where you guys have never thought about, because where you guys have just built it, thinking, okay, this is how it would be. You might have imagined it such way, but then your users and customer might have been using it in a completely crazy way. Has that ever
Oh yeah,
happened?
for sure. That's the cool thing about this product too, is it's like we highlight a lot of outdoor use cases, but it's much broader. People see more in it, but we get lots of pictures in, like, on ambulances, like, securing, like, gear and IVs and things, like, lots of nurses and doctors using it. We have a dental office, like a dental technician unit that orders them on an ongoing basis to secure different dental equipment when they're fixing things. Lots of search and rescue members using it, in the field, and like fixing, like one person had one of the wheels it was like shaking and like falling off, and they were able to secure that with an Infinity tool. Yeah, I mean, lots and lots and lots of parents using them to attach like toys to strollers or things like that. Like it's just, yeah, we get surprised all the time.
this has no danger as far as I see.
It's not gonna fly off, but I mean, it is a metal piece, so you still
Yeah.
gotta be careful with
Yeah,
it.
you gotta be careful around it, but,
Yeah.
there's way more dangerous tools out there that people use that are just like,
Yeah,
this is
totally.
just so much more safe because I don't think it has the nice thing about a bungee cord is it runs so long. The
Yeah,
risk is when you put metal pieces on the end, people
yeah.
realize, like, how much danger they're in. You right?
What's nice
Yeah.
too is you can connect these end to end, and so, like, in that scenario, you can also literally fix it on one end. So this is an anchor right there, and so, like, if the bungee cord is gonna fly off, it wouldn't go anywhere, it'd be staying right here, and so you could have the hook over here and then connect it to where you need.
Right, right. I mean, I just see it as, like, you could even extend them so it's not so extreme, right?
Right.
I think for you guys, it's more of a awareness game
Mm,
where a lot of people just don't know you exist,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
restaurants would use this if they knew about it.
Actually, next question was just about like e-commerce itself. So, do you guys operate on a Shopify store, or how
Ye
how exactly is your day-to-day operations? I mean, Because for a software company, we have a Slack and we have like a chatbot, and we use a lot of AI integrations as well. So, do you guys do something like that? And do you also have analytics? So, what goes in the ops side of things when you're doing e-commerce?
I mean, Shopify is the hub of pretty much any e-commerce business. It is an incredible piece of software. I don't know what we would do without Shopify. So that's kind of the hub. We're on Amazon, and so I'm kind of thinking about it from the revenue side. We're on Shopify, we're on Amazon, and we just got into REI. We're starting in 36 stores in REI. And so we're basically going to be live there over the next, starting in about 1 to 2 months. And so we're super pumped about that. And then operations wise, are you guys familiar with the book Traction?
No, I don't know it.
Oh man, yeah. Incredible book. It's basically, it lays out this thing called the entrepreneurial operating system. And it's basically how we've been running our business for close to 5 years now. And it's, kind of it literally breaks down the meetings that you have, starting with your annual planning, where you'll look at your 10-year vision, your 3-year vision, your 1-year vision, and then you set your quarterly rocks. And then every quarter after that, you have your quarterly meeting, and then you have your weekly meetings. And so basically, your weekly meeting lines up with your quarterly rocks, which are the big tasks that need to get done for that quarter. And the quarterly rocks line up with your annual goals, and your annual goals line up with your 10-year vision. And so it's just an incredible way to keep everything in sync. And so we basically been running that playbook a ton, and we use Figma. We kind of developed that and applied those meetings to a Figma setup that I basically just run for the team every week. And we're a pretty small team. It's only 5 of us right now. And so it's my 2 co-founders and we got 2 other people. Our core team just texts. It's kinda nice. Yeah, we just like text is really easy. We have email, obviously. And then we do lots of creative. We have some creative agency. We got an in-house videographer. We run tons of meta ads. I mean, that's pretty much where all of our advertising spend is going at the moment. And then outsource fulfillment, and it's that all syncs with Shopify, so it's all very light touch.
Do you guys use AI a lot? Because I think with Nano
Oh,
Banana, it just becomes so easy to take images of your product and then create a really high definition images that we can just circulate on these meta ads. So
totally.
anything that you guys do for creatives?
Yeah, definitely use tons of AI. I use ChatGPT and Claude and Gemini pretty much every day. Using more and more Claude. I feel like that's kind of that's the hot one these days. Um, but right now, use these mainly for strategy, thinking things through, copywriting. In terms of Nano Banana, it has not been ideal for us yet because it doesn't fully know what our product is. So, like, if we were creating apparel, that'd be way easier for Nano Banana to get, like, put this shirt on this person in this environment. But, it has a hard time understanding the Infinity tool, so it does these really weird things with it. So, haven't quite gotten there yet. And then also, I've just kinda seen you do have to be careful with, advertising with AI generated images. It's kind of the Wild West out there a lot right now, and especially with the video generation side. If you kinda do, like, the fake creators kinda saying, like, "I love this product," like, you could get in a little bit of trouble there too. So, I'm kinda just letting the dust settle there. I'm still dabbling with it, but I haven't really found AI generated creative to hit for us yet, but I know it's working for some people. So, we're not we're gonna keep trying. Maybe this year something will break through.
I love that you're talking about a limitation of like a really powerful AI tool. It doesn't know what this is. It doesn't have
Mhm.
context. So when you upload an image and you're like, show the founders holding it, it won't get it because
Yeah, it
there's
will.
context in it to understand how to really
Yeah,
work with. So it probably
yeah,
gives you really wrong results, like completely off, right?
yeah. Oh, no, I've seen some weird things with it, and, like, I'm like, use this to attach a blanket to a backpack or something like that," and it's like, it doesn't know how to handle it.
Like a spider web, it does something
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah.
like
Yeah, totally.
not real.
So, I think it's an opportunity, though. I think it's good, and it just shows that we're creating something unique.
Do you why use Claude? And I literally was having this conversation with Harshith yesterday. Like, why Claude over the other guys? Like, why is it so good? Why is it so hot?
So transparently, I'm just dipping my toes into it, but I'm on D2C Twitter a lot, or D2C X. Like, there's lots of activity there and lots of people sharing stuff. But generally, it's known for being better at copywriting
Okay.
uh, in the D2C Twitter world. So I'm learning. I'm kind of training it on our voice and how it works. But that's the vibe there. And then uh, outside of that, it just seems like coding wise, it's the one too. So, I mean, that's at least right now. I don't know when this is coming out, and I'm sure in 3 months the world will look different, but that's at least the snapshot.
Yeah. Yeah. Harshith could validate that. I don't know if you agree with him, Harshith.
Yeah, 100%. I think Claude is definitely the best writing tool because I believe Claude really has that personality in it. And I think you also mentioned, right, Justin, that you are also a people's person, right? And to be a people's person, you want to just have a real writing agent which can understand users, which can understand the end customers. I think Claude has been really good in that aspect for sure.
Totally.
But yeah, the pointer that you just shared was really interesting to me about the context. Nano Banana not even knowing about what the tool is. I think, couple more months of training, and then
Yeah.
Google will just catch up on model,
I
and
know,
then
I
they'll
know.
just go ahead and create it.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And one other AI that is incredible is Shopify's agent. I don't know if you guys have heard. They have an agent built in Shopify called Sidekick. Incredible. Um, and it's one of those agentic AIs that can literally do things and build things for you. It can build product pages. It can create discounts. It can write code. I mean, it's insanity. And it's only getting better too. So I think that's kind of an under radar AI agent that isn't talked about too much.
I don't know if you follow the CEO. He's
Oh
very
yeah.
bullish.
Toby.
Yeah, Toby is very bullish on AI, where he put out a mandate where everybody has to learn AI, and also, like, if you want to hire somebody, use AI first.
I think it's so real. And they're doing incredible things at Shopify. I mean, just grateful to be on that platform.
I haven't used it since the AI boom, but I used it years ago when it was not.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine, because they're always on their game. They're one company that's super sharp, and they just know how to innovate. This is a question that comes. We have the same dilemma. Like, our product is something that when we created our product in 2023, there's a lot of companies coming up in competition. How do you view competition? It's like Legos, right? Legos is like the de facto kids' toy building, but then there's these offshoots that really go after them to try to take them down. Do you feel that at all? Like,
I think at the end of the day, the main thing that we look at is just building the best product that we can, building the best experience we can, providing the best service we can, and trusting the rest. There's going to be people that show up. If we build anything meaningful, there's going to be competition. There's going to be people. But if we just build the best quality product, build an awesome brand, and provide excellent service, I trust the rest will work out. So it's mainly focused on our own game than others.
I guess you have three co-founders, right? A lot of
Yeah,
companies,
including me.
including you, it's hard to build a company under so much stress. Like you said, it's like a marriage. Like, how did you break apart roles so that you guys don't kill each other? Right?
Yeah.
It's like a secret for all founders out there, because a lot of people have co-founders and they break apart for so many different reasons. Like, how do you keep three co-founders together? Is it because of school? Is it because of the dynamic? Like,
Yeah. No,
what
it's a
did it
good question. Um, I think for us, we've learned there's a magic number to 3. I think 3 is easier than 1. I think it's easier than 2 because 2, you could just be on totally different pages, whereas 3, more often than not, on a topic or an issue, somebody's on this end, somebody's on this end, and then there's usually one person in between who's kinda, like, hearing all the perspectives. So, that's always really helpful. Just having 3 feels pretty balanced as a founding team, and, we were operating for the first 5 years in a system that required all of us to agree to act on things, and then kind of, a lot changed in that little middle pivot time we had a like executive coach kind of come in and they called this out that there's so much progress not happening because we're waiting for all three of us to align. And so a key thing that freed us up was basically carving out three distinct but overlapping departments and making sure each one of us covers that area and is the ultimate decision maker. And so we'll have the debates and have the conversations and we'll talk things through. But if this falls in operations, Zach, you hear all of our perspectives, but this is your call. If it's in design or anything like that, Brock, you hear what we say, but it's your call. All right. If it's marketing, it's on my end.
Okay, so you brought in an executive coach, and the executive coach helped you guys, and you broke up roles. So you're doing all marketing. You're like, I like this image. I get to pick. I get to decide. And then, okay, so you all have like authority in one area, one domain.
Yeah. I mean, we have it kind of just worked out. We kind of, and I've mapped it out in an org structure. It's kind of this overlapping Venn diagram of each department, and design is really the most important one that we solve for. So ultimately that's, he's our CEO, but he's also our head of design, is Barack. And so, yeah, we broke it up like that. And we always like to hear what everybody thinks, but like, it's freed us up so much to now be like, all right, this is your call. Like, and we're not going to question you like after you make your call.
I find it interesting that you said 3 is the magic number. I always assumed 2 would be the magic number, but 3, you feel like that's a good. And I'm like, my mind is running through it. It's like Apple had 3 co-founders. I don't know if you know. One of them
I
dropped.
didn't know there was three. I mean, I knew Steve Wozniak and Jobs. Who was the third?
He gave up. He dropped out. But with 2, you still have momentum. Like one person, you
Right.
kind of give up. So like 3, you just are fortunate. You have all 3 of you guys like there building the company together. But
Yeah.
there's something to be said about 3 people. Like I'm actually now like, I got to do more research.
I don't know. It feels balanced to us. It feels like a magic number. And when you just kind of think about trios and threes, you kind of see a lot of history. There's a lot going on with the number 3. But um, I've always, it's the only thing I've ever known as a founding team. So I really don't have any other experience, but I've liked it. So
I did just do a little research. So, or give or take, around 39% of co-founders are 2 co-founders that build billion unicorns. 3 co-founders, 27%. That's a lot. Airbnb, 3 co-founders. YouTube, 3 co-founders. Pinterest, 3 co-founders. Snapchat, 3 co-founders. There's a bunch of
yeah.
those. I'm like, all right, that's a really solo co-founders. Only 15% become unicorns.
Oh, I mean, it
So
just sounds so. What's y'all's dynamic? I mean, are you guys a founding team? It's 3?
three co-founders in our
Cool.
company. Yeah.
Yeah. How does it work for you guys?
I needed it personally. Like I needed to have 2 co-founders that like could cover bases in areas where I just wasn't strong. And then they were weak in other areas. And I'm like, I cover their bases. There is I would say a natural Venn diagram that we have in some senses, but we're always refining. It's a refinement process for us. We don't have an executive coach. Maybe we should. What do you recommend that to co-founders? Like with 3
I
co-founders?
mean, it was just a one and done for us, and
Okay. Yeah.
it set us. It was honestly, it was at a pivotal point in the business that it all worked out.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we did it, but I don't know. We haven't needed it on an ongoing basis, but it was very useful.
Got it. Got it. That's
Yeah.
really good advice. Really good advice.
To ask actually. So, are you based out of Denver, Justin?
Yeah.
Is there a
We're
lot?
all
Yeah,
out of
right.
Denver.
Okay, so if you're in Denver, right? So I thought there's a lot of outdoor scene, a lot of adventure scene there. So do you see a lot of use cases where you never? Is there a one particular tool in your entire toolkit where you never leave it and you always carry it when you're doing adventures?
Oh, I mean, definitely the Infinity tool for sure. Um, Trying to think for me. I'm a water sucker. I need my water bottle with me everywhere I go. That's another one that and I'll use Infinity tools just to clip my bottle wherever I want. But I mean, I'll go to the grocery store and bring my water bottle. Like I don't go anywhere without it. Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm an active outdoors person. I love hiking, camping, all that stuff. But I think I've been surrounded enough by pretty intense outdoorsy people around here that I've kind of been humbled. I know I'm not the crazy one, so I'll get back to you on that one if there's a critical tool. But, I mean, I now know though, once you get Infinity tools, people generally bring them with them wherever they go. They always come in handy no matter what adventure you're doing.
And like one last question. So are you also like shipping worldwide as well? Because I'd like to get my hands on a couple of these. Right.
Yeah.
My mom would definitely love it. It's like such a handy tool. It's, so much things you can do. And yeah, just, I was thinking
Where are
if
you
you guys are also
based?
shipping it. So I'm currently based in India.
Yeah, we ship. We ship there, no problem.
Oh, you get okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it.
We ship international. It's not like we don't market international, we don't advertise international, but we ship international, so anybody anywhere can buy it.
Well, just, yeah, I think these were my questions. So super inspiring just to understand your entire journey. And because doing something physical and tangible, I think is definitely hard because software, you have infinite leverage just with code, but figuring out the PMF with a real tangible product is really, really hard. And I think you get a lot of joy when you see people, real people using your product. And I think just seeing that is genuinely beautiful in like day-to-day life because that's something that you built and they don't know who you are, but they just know your product they are using your creation. I think just witnessing that would be amazing. I believe, Justin. So
Thank you so much. Yeah, right back at you guys. I'm super inspired. I'm excited to hear more about everything that y'all are building. But yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Awesome, awesome. I agree with Harshit. You built something that's really unique, and the brand was great. So I feel like Apple gives good vibes, Scrub Daddy gives good vibes. You're building a brand that feels really solid and it has a really good foundation. So that gives merit to you. So
Thank you
that's
so much.
it's out because it's such a unique item and something that like once you buy, you're like, what is this? And you start to work with it. But thank you so much for being on. This was a great episode. I appreciate you making the time.
Thanks for the invite. It's been a pleasure, and it was great meeting you all.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Justin.